From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew.
Hello and welcome to episode 205 of the Blind Android Users Podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm joined today by my co-hosts Warren Carr, Karene Kiwan, Sally Kunders and John Dyer. And we are coming to you on Saturday, the 9th of November, 2024. In this week's episode, we have our usual announcements. In Android Basics, we conclude our look at Samsung One UI settings. In our App of the Week, Warren demonstrates another reader, Listen AI, and Karene brings us another episode of our Jieshuo series where she demonstrates new AI functionality where Jieshuo will continuously describe a video while it's playing. Well, how are we all? Karene, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Just a normal week, nothing important. There was no rain this week. Yeah, but things are going well. What about you?
I'm very well. I haven't been here for a little while because of annoying time changes. I've been playing with ChatGPT this week though. And courtesy of an online course I bought by one of our prolific trainers, Brian Hartgen, who sells such things, I discovered that you could specify preferences with ChatGPT about how, what you like and how it responds. So I told ChatGPT that I like cheek pulling, and then I told it to mention in any answer something about pulling Karene, Sally and Warren's cheeks. John, I'm sorry again that I forgot you. And then I tested this and it seems to work. You all enjoyed that. You enjoyed it, didn't you, Karene? You now like ChatGPT.
Actually, I responded in the group regarding this one. And I said that I don't like ChatGPT and I'm using Gemini all of the time. And ChatGPT is very, very, very terrible software. Yeah.
Warren, what did you make of my little experiments and how are you, more importantly?
Well, I think that I don't like the fact that you had to type, though. I thought you could just speak to it. But other than that, I think I want to go with Karene here. All about the cheeks and all of that. It just kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth. And so ChatGPT is out the window. I never used it anyway. So if it's going to do that, then bye, baby.
Well, I chose to type, but it's on Windows, isn't it? And it was the web interface. It's kind of easier to type. It's
I understand.
Yeah,
but
Android is different, but
yeah. So with that plugin that you got, I think it's only intended for Windows, right?
Well, it's Windows settings, so there is no particular plugin. I went to chat.
Okay.
.openeye.com. I haven't tested it on Android. And to be clear, the course does not recommend you set this up for cheek pulling. I'm just saying the course gave me the inspiration to apply this to my context. Well, I haven't actually checked whether it works on Android. It's not a plugin, though. It was just on the website settings.
I got it.
Yeah. Sally, Warren, how are you, more importantly? You didn't...
I'm doing good. This week's kind of been... so it's a nice week for us, though. The week before, though, we were in the 40s, and this week has been in the 50s. I think we're going to be like 51 today. So nice week, but today it's not sunny. It's kind of... probably it's going to rain or whatever. But it hasn't started snowing yet.
Oh, well, that is one thing. Sally, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, Ed. Well, I'm a GPT Plus subscriber, so I don't know what to say about it. I'm going to try something to do with you, and whenever I write something, it's going to say something about Spurs.
It could do that, all Huddersfield. Yeah, you should do that.
And here it's like 7 degrees and we are frozen. Definitely, it's really cold over here. It's like 44 for those living in the States. yeah, it's really cold these days, and yeah, it's getting even colder, especially during the nighttime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coldish here, probably about 10 or 11 during the day, I think, or whatever that is in funny money. But yeah, something like that. And John Boy, I can only apologise again for missing you off my chat GPT preferences when I was doing the cheeks thing. But I hope you've recovered from that devastation and ennui and that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I definitely did not mind being left out of that whole mess. But my week's been good. Spent the morning today up in the attic trying to make room basically for some things and trying to balance on ceiling joists to not fall through. We don't have a floor up there, but I still try to store a lot of stuff up there.
Is that a thing you kind of try and do lying down then? You don't want to stand on anything? Or do you actually try and do it vertically on your non-floor?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, if there are cracks between the floor, I think I would rather stay horizontal because I'm less likely to fall through, aren't I? I take up more space. If I'm trying to walk across beams where there are no floors, then I might slip off.
Yeah,
if I try and do it
I stay upright. I have better balance that way. And I don't get
Nice.
insulation all over me.
Yeah, well, there is that. Yeah, if you've got insulation all over the place, that's going to be annoying.
Yeah, I'd never climbed into our attic. I came close to it one time. I took like a stepping ladder, and I'm like, nah, this is not a good idea. So, John, frankly, you do a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, I've spent. I
just couldn't do it. Yeah.
I actually so Halloween was over and I got 2 bins down of Halloween decorations, and magically when I go to put it back up there, there's 4 bins. We've accumulated, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do something because this stuff already barely fit up there. So I had to I found a dog cage that we had from when our dog had surgery and we had to keep her in a cage, and I just laid that over the beams to make a makeshift flooring, and then I stacked some bins on top of that. So I was able to figure it out. It just took me a few minutes.
What we do is what we do is that I put those things in the garage because it's just easier for me, and our garage is it's a 2-car garage, but we only have 1 car in there, and then a couple cars are out in the drive. And I tell you, that garage is full. You can't, there's hardly room to walk in there. And I've been telling Julia, we need to get rid of some of these things. And so we put some of those things on a neighborhood app. If someone wants to get this, they could come get it. I got just tons of stuff out there. Including pools and printers, just absolutely crazy stuff. Bikes, we've got maybe 5 or 6 bikes sitting in there that we no longer use or no longer need.
Yeah, I wish I had a garage. We live in a townhouse, so the attic is the only option for me. We have a shed out back, but it's full of tools. There's no room for anything else.
I think you and I, maybe collect things we shouldn't be collecting. I just looked at these things and I'm like, if I haven't used these things in so many number of years, it's probably should let them go. It's just kind of crazy.
But I also think there's potential for a job swap. So if you've never been in your attic, maybe John sorts your attic out and you sweep his drive when it snows.
Doggone you, Ed.
I think you do that because you don't mind the old sweeping a drive because of the snow, so you can fly to Virginia in the turbulence and the snow, and he can sort your attic out in the summer. I think that sounds reasonable. I
tip my hat to John. He does a lot of things, and it looks good on us, those of us who are blind. Yeah.
Here we are, BlindDIYExchange.com.
There you go.
One instant job swap.
And now, the announcement segment. This is a segment dedicated to things we want you to be in the know. And now for this week's episode, here's your announcements.
Let's move to our announcement section. I have one, and that is that our 4-year anniversary is coming up. It was great that so many of you joined us for our last big party, our 200th. But the 4 years, please do. Let's see if we can increase those numbers. It's a tricky one because it is the last shopping Saturday before Christmas. But if you don't want to go shopping, then you've got an amazing excuse. Why don't you come and join us? That'll be Saturday, I think, the 21st of December. And that will be our 4-year anniversary. And details of how to do that will be posted nearer the time. Does anyone else have any announcements?
Well, just, tag onto what you just said, Ed. Really, nowadays we do a lot of our shoppings on, online. So I think that people would be able to just do that shopping online. And if you have any ideas of, some of the, things you'd like to see us do during that 4-year anniversary, send those to us, and we'll talk about that and incorporate that into the celebration. But frankly, it's going to be a big one, and we want you guys to make it big. So thank you so much.
Yeah, please do come. Any other announcements?
Well, I think we should say a little salute to Android for turning 17 years old last week. We all use Android, and so often we don't talk about it enough. So congratulations to Android turning 17, and it will soon be an adult.
In what ways don't we talk about Android enough, exactly? Like, isn't that what we do every week?
Well,
I know what you mean by that statement.
Well, what I mean is we don't talk much about its history and all of that. Or, when something monumental happens, like, turning 17 or whatever, I think we should observe that.
We should. Is there anything?
I think what he means is that the Android to cheeks ratio needs to be a little higher.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, John.
Fewer cheeks, more Android. So let's have a look at 17 then. What can you do in your jurisdictions at 17? The big one here is that you can learn to drive. So Android is now, not learn to drive, but you can now pass your driving test. I think people have started being privately driven at 16. But if you're 17 here, you can learn to drive. Should you wish to do that? So Android can now do that in the UK. Anything particularly happen at 17 in either Washington or Virginia? I know it's a bit funny, isn't it? Federal ages are all different, but
yeah. Well, here, you get your license at 16.
Yeah. Is 17 anything much?
License. Nothing really in 17 that I can think of. No.
Anything in Virginia?
No. 16 you could drive, 18 you could do everything else. As far as I know.
Yeah. Sally, anything in Turkey at 17?
Well, in Turkey it's 18.
Yeah. But nothing happens at 17.
No.
Karene, anything in Lebanon?
Yeah, you keep waiting until you become 18. You just, every day you say, okay, another day is passing, and then I'll be 18. So this is what happens here at 17.
Fair enough. So Android now can, of course, operate.
And Karene, then you can get a boyfriend. Is that what that means?
Well, this generation is getting girlfriends and boyfriends at younger ages, so they don't need to wait until 18.
I see.
Yeah, Android can, of course, operate now. It can do magic. It has come of age if it wants to be a wizard. That of course is 17 in that Harry Potter universe. So let's see if it takes advantage of that. Or learning to drive in the UK. Seemingly those are the two advantages of turning 17.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics.
Let's move on then to our Android Basics section. And we conclude our look at One UI settings in the Samsung operating system. And John shows us a deceptively important bit of settings, I think, which is About Phone.
Welcome back to yet another installment of Samsung's One UI settings. Today, I will be exploring
About Phone. Status, legal information, phone name.
which you can find at the very bottom of the settings on your Samsung phone. It's the last option in here.
About Phone. Navigate up. Button.
I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that you can find in here.
Search settings. Button. John Z Fold 6.
First, we have the name of your device,
Edit phone name. Button.
which you can choose to change if you want to.
Product name. Galaxy Z Fold 6.
As the model,
Model name. SMF956U1.
the model number.
Serial number.
You can find your serial number.
ISIM1.
Then you have sections for each SIM. I just have an eSIM in here, so eSIM 1.
Phone number.
You can find the phone number for your device,
Network.
network information,
Network. US Mobile. IMEI1.
and this will tell you the IMEI number that's associated with that eSIM. And I'm not going to do it here, but if I were to swipe right, it would give me the IMEI number, and if I were to double tap and hold on the number, it will automatically copy it to the clipboard. So if you need to provide your IMEI number for activation or something, that's a quick way to get to it and put it in your clipboard.
Available SIM.
And this is the SIM that is not in use.
IMEI2.
You can get the IMEI number for that as well. And then after this basic information, you have a list of a few more types of information you can explore. The first one is
Status information.
going in here.
Status information. Navigate up. Button.
Now I'm just going to go through this quickly just to show you the type of items that are in here.
SIM card status. IMEI information. IP address. Wi-Fi MAC address. Phone Wi-Fi MAC address. Bluetooth address. Ethernet MAC address. Serial number. Uptime. Phone status. FCC certification. Rated. DC9V 2.77 ampere.
Now backing out of here.
About phone. Status information.
Next we have,
Legal information.
again quickly, I'll just blow through this to show you what's in here.
Legal information. Navigate up. Button. Open source licenses. Google Legal. Google Play System Update licenses. System WebView licenses. Privacy policy. Samsung Knox privacy policy. Samsung Legal. Samsung Legal document versions. End user license agreement. Privacy policy. Diagnostic data. You agreed to these versions.
So there's that information if you want to access it.
About phone. Legal information.
Below legal information we have,
Software information.
let's go in here.
Software information. Navigate up. Button. One UI version. 6.1.1.
You can find your One UI version,
Android version. 14.
Android version, and so on.
Google Play System Update. April 1st, 2024. Baseband version. F956U1 was 1xHB. Kernel version. 6.1.57 Android 14-1129,150,220 ABF 956 SQS 1xHB. Number 1 Wed August 28 72841 UTC 2024.
Exciting stuff in here.
Build number. Up 1A235.007.F956U1 was 1xHB. Android security patch level. September 1st, 2024.
So that's the type of information you can get in here. Backing out.
About phone. Software information.
Next we have,
Battery information.
let's see what type of information this will tell us.
Battery information. Navigate up. Button. Battery status. Charging, USB. Battery level. 87%.
Now that's just the actual level. It's not battery health.
Battery capacity. 4,400 mAh typical. The typical capacity has been tested under third-party laboratory conditions. The typical capacity is the estimated average capacity considering the deviation in battery capacity among the battery samples tested under the IEC 61960 standard. The rated capacity is 4,273 mAh. Actual battery life may vary depending on network environment, usage patterns, and other factors.
And that's all we have here in the battery section. Backing out, we have one more item.
About phone. Battery information.
Below this is
Samsung Care Plus not covered. 39 days left to sign up.
And obviously this is trying to get me to sign up for Samsung Care. I don't know if this will continue to show up in this list even after it's too late for me to sign up, but that's where you would go to sign up if you want to. And that brings us to the end of the About Phone section. I'll now send it back to the crew.
Does anyone want to pick anything up about phone?
I just want to mention something which is related to the software information, which John didn't mention. The Google Play system updates, people should go there and check for updates. And I noticed that John's version is very old, so it seems that he doesn't check at all for updates there. So you should just tap this, and if there is an update, it should appear for you, and then it will ask you to restart the phone, because this part of updates is also important, because it updates some parts of the software. So it's always important to keep it up to date. And also it should include the Google Play Services stuff. So yeah, it's a good thing to always go there and download and install the updates that you have.
I think another thing, being the historian that I am, that I like about that software information, when you go in there, there's a menu, and if you tap on that, you can look at the past history, the updates, and see what was changed and all of that. And I thought that was fascinating. I'd never been in there. But apart from that, I think the one thing that I like also, that IMEI, and I don't know why, sometimes when you want to migrate to another phone carrier, they want you to give them that IMEI. And I've always been kind of a little bit hesitant about that. I know when I moved to US Mobile, like a month or a little over a month ago, and they wanted that, and I had to call them, and I'm like, you guys already have these phones on your network, so why do I need to give you that? I don't feel like it. If I must, then I'm not going to use you guys. So they just said, okay, so then allow me to just, sign on. But I just don't. It kind of bothers me. Why do you want my IMEI? It's not your phone. It's mine. You already have similar phones on the network that work well. You don't need my IMEI. It's like you're trying to get my social security number. Stop it.
They want it so they could see if it's been blacklisted or not. So if it's a stolen phone or something.
Nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to say the same thing.
Come on.
And you have to give it to them every time. Even when you transfer your eSIM, you have to give it to them.
Yeah, so I argued with them, and they sent me an eSIM code, and I just that's how I got in.
What's quite funny though is you don't seem to need to do it. Well, maybe it's a bit easier to get a physical SIM in the UK, but you can just buy a physical SIM from a grocery store, and then you don't give your IMEI to anybody. You just put your SIM in the phone. It only seems to be if you sign up.
Whether you give it to them or not, when you actually put the SIM in your phone or you activate the eSIM, like it's still they're still going to get the number and they'll
Still gonna
know
check.
if it's been blacklisted and it won't
Yeah.
work. So
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you're giving it to them eventually. It's just, are you telling it to them
Yeah.
or are you letting your phone deliver it to them once you activate
Yeah.
the SIM card?
Yeah. So
In
my
some ways,
whole
they
thing
should
is
just
that-
make it more efficient and don't make you tell them. Like, just do it when you activate the phone, and if it doesn't work, block it.
my
Yeah,
thing is
I
that the
agree.
damn phone is not your phone, it's mine. Okay. So, but I can see, well, if someone has stolen the phone somewhere, but if someone has stolen the phone, it would be blacklisted anyway. So whether I give it to you or not, it's not going to be activated anyway, because I think that thing would be blacklisted across whatever. So anyone tries to activate it, it's red flag is going to come on. And so what's the point? You know what I mean? But I can see where they're coming from, but I just kind of feel like, you go to apply for something that is not job related and someone wants your social security number. I'd always argued that point. I'm like, why do you need my social security number? It's just kind of stupid. This is why we have all these, breaches and all of that. And people's social security numbers, get stolen because everybody wants your social security number. The whole thing is stupid. But that's my rant. Another thing I like about it, though, you see all those IP addresses, and then you see the Ethernet, and I'm like, well, the Ethernet, I don't even have an Ethernet port, and it says it's disabled. Oh my goodness. But this is the brands of our phone, right? You want to know everything about your phone, appropriately titled About Phone. This is where you go to see everything that there is to learn about your phone. Whether you want to turn on the developer mode on, you go in here. So it's a very important segment of the phone.
I'd like to see it expand a little bit. Like we've talked before, haven't we, about third-party apps you need to install to get more phone information. So I wonder if some of that should be dumped natively into About Phone. Now you might say it could get a bit cluttered for a beginner user, but no beginner user is going to go in here anyway, are they, realistically? So why don't phone manufacturers put in all the stuff that third-party apps can expose anyway into About Phone?
Because the truth is that most of these people think we're so stupid, we're going to mess up the phone. You remember the argument about SD card, why we don't need SD card is because we don't understand the differences between an internal and SD card slots, or, what storage is what. And so we don't want you guys, little siblings of ours out there, getting confused. So it's important that we don't get you confused. So I'm thinking they think we're going to mess up the phone if they allow us to have access to this, because you know all those secret codes that you could dial, star, pound, whatever, different things, and so many things would show up. It's not like you can go look on your phone to find those, but if you punch those codes in, you'll see all sorts of things that one can do, but they keep those away from us. We're not grown up enough.
We can turn on developer options. I was more thinking, do you remember when we looked at the Braille Sense 6 and we wanted to know what processor it ran, and it wouldn't tell us, so we put an app on it.
Wasn't that something, though? And we had to find a workaround.
So, like, why isn't that? Yeah, why isn't that in About Phone? Like, that sort of information should be in About Phone, shouldn't it?
It should be, but like I said, they think we're not. We're not smart enough, and we'll be messing up the phone. And that's why look at the developer options. It's just those of us who are Android enthusiasts that we know about this. The average Joe doesn't know that you need to type that build number several times to get to, enable that developer option. So it's one of those things.
Yeah. But a lot of what I want is just essentially static text. I don't want to be able to change it. I just want to know things that they could put in here to save me having to install an app, which will do it because they don't close it. I just think they should be a lot easier. A bit like the Windows system information thing where you can find out quite helpful things. I don't know why it's not in About Phone. You may be interested in what's next in Android Basics now that we have finished One UI settings. Now, John has shouldered a heavy load to bring us all that, so he's going to get a break. And Warren, instead, is going to demonstrate the settings of John. He's going to show us what happens when you pull John's cheeks, ruffle his hair, pull his hair, and various other things you can do with the dial. Look forward to that over the coming weeks.
Well, I'll be. Did you guys understand the stuff that the knuckleheaded knuckleheaded Ed just said? I think it was German. Living in Berlin for so many years.
I understood it. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Just Ed being Ed.
He didn't like it, but he understood it. Yeah. Not that he liked
I didn't like it. I wasn't surprised by it, but I understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. It's Ed. What can you say?
I might apply for a job at One Capital Hill.
But seriously, we really appreciate John for bringing us these preambles throughout our journey on the One UI settings. And it's a good place to conclude the One UI settings. And it's been fun talking about the One UI settings. Of course, these things change. And when there's some new changes, we're bound to reflect those changes because nothing is static. And, so we'll be, doing this again should new things happen, especially if something brings us the One UI 7X. So we'll see what happens with that new iteration. So stay tuned. If any new changes come through, we could either do it as a tip of the week or something else. But it's been a great journey through the One UI settings. Up next is the App of the Week segment. This is a segment dedicated to app demonstrations. Should you have an app that you would like to demonstrate for our listeners, feel free to send us the recording of such an app demo to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your App of the Week.
And now we move to our App of the Week segment, where Warren demonstrates another AI reader. This time it's Listen AI.
Hi. For episode 205, App of the Week, this is demonstrating Listen AI. This is a similar app to the one I demonstrated for last week's episode, that's episode 204, in the way of the Speak Up AI text-to-speech engine. The one thing I like about this app is the fact that unlike Speak Up AI, however, this one allows you to listen to your book with the screen shut off. For today's demonstration, I'm utilizing my Pixel 9 XL Pro running Android 15 and TalkBack 15.x. For the text-to-speech engine, I am utilizing the Karene voice variant from Acapella. I am on the play page of Listen AI, and now we'll navigate to the About so we hear both the description of the app and the app history. Here's that description and app history.
About this app, heading. Google Play Store, Listen AI, text-to-speech, details. Listen Docs, PDF and web pages. Allowed reader, text-to-speech, voice and audio. TTS AI. Listen AI, unveiling the power of text-to-speech. Turn text into speech and open your ears to the written word. Listen AI isn't just a text-to-speech tool, it's your effortless companion for a world of information, narrated at your pace. Here's how Listen AI elevates your experience. Unmatched vocal majesty, immerse yourself in a variety of crystal clear, expressive voices that blur the line between human and machine. Choose from a range of accents and personalities to find the perfect narrator for any content, be it a casual blog post or a formal report. Customization at your fingertips, tailor your listening experience to your preferences. Adjust the speaking rate to match your comprehension speed, or fine-tune the volume for optimal comfort. Effortless integration, forget copy-pasting. Listen AI seamlessly converts text from documents and web pages into spoken content. Highlight a passage on a website, a section in a PDF, or an entire document, and Listen AI will bring it to life with its captivating narration. Multitasking Masterclass, free up your eyes and ears for other activities. Listen to articles, web pages, and PDFs while you exercise, commute, cook, or complete chores. Listen AI lets you learn and stay informed while you conquer your to-do list. Accessibility Champion, Listen AI is a game changer for those with visual impairments or learning disabilities. Reading lengthy documents or educational materials can be a challenge. Listen AI transforms text into an engaging audio experience, making learning and information access more accessible than ever before. Listen AI, it's not just reading, it's experiencing. Terms and conditions. https://static.listen.app/codespace_AI_text_co_terms_conditions_eg.html. Privacy policy. https://static.listen.app/codespace_AI_text_co_text_speech_policy_eg.html. Community guidelines. https://static.listen.app/codespace_text_co_text_speech_policy_eg.html. App info. Version 1.0.1. Updated on September 23, 2024. Downloads 50,000 plus downloads. Download size 31.17 megabytes. Required OS Android 5.0 and up. In-app purchases $4.99 minus $129.99 per item. Offered by Codespace Digital, released on September 20th, 2024.
And that's both the description of the app and its history. As you heard, this is from a developer called Codespace Digital. I think it's probably Codespace Digital because it's Digital. I'll now navigate back to the installation page and tap on that install, and let's get started.
Play Store. About this app, heading. Install button. Verified by Play Product. Pending. Navigate up button. Listen AI. Text to speech. 0%, 87%, 100%. Installing.
There we go. We are done with installation, and now I'll tap on Open to get started.
Open button in.
Takes it a little while to finish loading, and it's loading.
Listen AI. Welcome to Listen AI.
There we go. Upon opening the app, we are told, Welcome to Listen AI. At the bottom,
Get Started button.
Is the Get Started.
Scan text, web link, type and paste text, PDF and more. Turn any document to audio. Listen to PDFs, articles, news and more.
And at the bottom,
Continue button. Take notes on key concepts. Take notes on key ideas with a single tap.
and at the bottom,
Continue button. Increase your productivity. Listen to texts faster, learn more.
and at the bottom.
Continue button. Choose your voice.
We're now on a page of voice selection, and below here are a set of voices that you could tap on to listen to. And after tapping on a voice, that voice by default is selected. So if you like that voice, then all you need to do is tap the confirm voice selection at the bottom of the phone. We'll start though with the first one, and it's
Elena.
Here's Elena. I'm going to tap to listen.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
Next to Elena, we got
Mike.
tap to listen.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
Next,
Dan.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
next,
Selena.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
and Last but not least,
Mary.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
Now, I used to have a girlfriend named Mary, but this doesn't sound anything like Mary. So I'm not sure that I'm going to choose Mary. Probably I'm going to choose Elena just for giggles for the time being. I'll move my finger back to the top and tap on Elena.
Elena.
Hi, I would be happy to read text for you. Choose me if you like the sound of my voice.
And now at the bottom across the screen is the confirm voice selection or confirm.
Continue, button.
Continue rather.
Button.
You heard button, and that's
Detected
the one
icon,
thing.
left. Image.
That's the one thing that I am not very happy about, even though the description of the app says that this is a champion of accessibility. For some reason, however, the developer forgot to label some of these buttons. And I'll show you where these unlabeled buttons are found. And that's the first one that we come across. Is that one there on the top left corner of the phone. And TalkBack is doing the heavy lifting here via the image description. And it says left. That's the back key. Now on the top right hand corner, however, we got
Restore.
We got the restore. Moving down though, we encounter
Listen AI Pro.
That is, if you want to choose the Pro version. And as we heard in the description of the app, it's $4.99 a week. Or, as we can see here later on, you could buy a lifetime subscription for $39. Moving on.
Read anything aloud in the highest quality voices.
So in other words, if you get the Pro version, you're going to be able to have better voices than those samples that we have. I am not sure if we'll have more voices than those that I demonstrated. I probably will have to take the trial to see what it is. And below that we have
PDFs and more. Scan text. Web pages. Type or paste text.
Those are the things that you could do with this app. In other words, you could read your PDF files with it. And I do attest that it opens up PDFs relatively fast, and I tested it with a 53 MB file. Let's move on.
3 days free trial, auto renewal, $4.99/week. No payment now, button.
Next.
Build once, $39.99/lifetime. Save 70%.
And
start my 3-day free trial.
Or
privacy, button. Vertical line. Terms, button. Cancel anytime.
And now I need to simply tap on that back button on the top left corner to close out of this dialog.
Button. Hello today. Allow Listen AI to send you notifications. Allow, button.
And of course, you know me for being notorious for not allowing notifications. I'm going to say don't allow. It's totally up to you.
Don't allow, button. Listen AI. Hello today.
We're now on the menu I of the app, and the first thing we heard was welcome today or hello today and Listen AI. Now, essentially what we have on this screen is a screen containing 4 controls. So we've got one to the left, one to the right, then another one at the bottom to the first one on the left, and another one to the bottom of the other one on the right. The first one we have here on the left is
PDF and more. Transform PDFs and other file types, button.
And then to the right of that,
scan text. Scan documents or images, button.
Now below PDF,
web link. Convert URLs to audio, button.
And to the right of that,
type or paste text. Input or paste text to listen, button.
Now at the bottom, we have 3 tabs. We got, starting from the left,
My Library tab 1 of 3, button.
We have the My Library tab, and then in the middle,
selected, Add Content, tab 2 of 3, button.
Is the Add Content, and to the right of that,
Settings tab 3 of 3, button.
Is the Settings tab. Those are the only tabs that we have at the bottom. Let's go into the settings though, because probably we have some things here that are worth mentioning. Let's go ahead and tap.
Settings tab 3 of 3.
Starting from the top, here are the items we find within the settings.
Share Listen AI.
Next,
Change voice Elena.
change voice. In other words, if you don't like the voice you've selected, you could tap here to go change it.
Like us, rate us, white heart.
Next,
Email support. Restore purchase. Privacy policy. Terms of service. Community guidelines.
and that's what we have from within the settings. I do, however, want to mention here in passing that don't do your back gesture or tapping the back button, because that will take you out of the app. In other words, the app would close. So if you want to do something else within the app, your best bet is to tap on one of the tabs at the bottom. So I will be tapping on the add content so that we import something and show you how it works before I bring this to a close. I'll now tap on that add content in the middle at the bottom. That's the second tab at the bottom.
Add content tab 2 of 3 button.
First, I would like to import a PDF file. So I'm going to tap the first one on the left.
PDF and more. Books. Show routes button. Detected text books.
As you could hear, it said PDFs and more. However, because we've tapped on import PDF, if you have an EPUB book, for example, and when you tap on it, nothing is going to happen because it's only importing PDFs. Below here, though, I have some of my recent apps, and I do have a book in the public domain by William T. Sherman, which is his memoirs. Now I'm going to tap on that book.
Memoirs of General William T. Sherman. PDF, 56.07 megabytes, November.
And all I need to do is just tap on it.
Listen AI. Hello today, out of grid.
As you can see, it brings us back to the menu UI where I tapped on the importation of the PDF. Give it a little bit of time for it to process, and once it processes, it will open up the book. And as you can see, this is a bigger book, so it will take it a little bit of a time. And there it goes. It's beginning to import it as I can
Button.
see it.
More.
Media control.
There we go.
Sherman, M, me.
Detected. Icon. Left.
Little heart.
Button.
As you can tell, it started reading. I had to tap to stop it. With the book open, we have more buttons. On the top, though, we have that back button there on the top left. And then to the right of it, as I indicated, the top button there is unlabeled. And also these buttons here are also unlabeled. We have two more buttons on the top right. The first one.
Button.
It simply says button, but if you leave it here,
Detected
you'll hear the
image. A
description.
blue box with 3 horizontal lines inside.
And if I tap on that, all that it seems to do is that it zooms in on the book. And to the right of that,
Button.
we hear button again, but this one is the one that says
Detected
My Notes.
image. Black paper with a hole in the center.
In other words, if you tap here, you'll see the notes that you've taken on a particular subject or on the book. So this is where your notes would be located. I tap here to show you what I'm talking about.
Dialogue. My notes. Nothing to note.
There we go. I have no notes here, but at the bottom
Add note. Button.
is an add note button. I'll go back
Button.
by tapping that button there on the top right again. It toggles me
Detected
back.
icon. Close. Image. A black
That's
X
the
symbol in
close
a circle. Button.
Those are the only buttons we have there at the top. So we got 3 buttons. At the bottom, however, we have like 4 or so buttons. Starting from the bottom left, we got
1.0x speed.
that's the speed, and to the right of it
Button.
is another unlabeled, but that's the back button or left. And then to
Detected.
the right,
Button.
we have the play button. And to the right,
Button.
that is the forward button. And the last button on the right
Take note. Button.
is the take note button. Those are the buttons that we find here.
Detected image. A blue circle.
And now, before I show you the last thing that I want to show you, that will be the scanning process, though, I want to go to the library. That's the first tab on the bottom left, and see that there's another button there that you will find to the right of every book that is found in your library. Let's go ahead and tap on My Library.
My Library tab 1 of 3 button.
I am now in the My Library, and near the top, we find the first book that I have in my library.
Memoirs of General William.
And to the right of it
button
is an unlabeled button, which is the More options. If you leave your top
detected
right there,
icon, More, image, 3 dot.
There we go. If you tap on this,
dialogue, download audio, listen in the best quality offline button.
And below that,
rename file button.
And the last,
delete file button.
That's what we have. And now, before I bring this to a close, let's go ahead and tab on that Add Content at the bottom in the middle and go try to scan a piece of paper.
Add Content tab 2 of 3.
And I'll be tapping on
Scan Text. Scan dot. Allow Listen AI to take pictures and record video while using the app button.
I have typed out a line or two, and now I'm going to tell it to allow so I could scan it, and that's here.
Listen AI. Cancel button.
We heard cancel. Basically, now I have the live view of the camera. I do want to mention here, however, that just like the other screens, we have some unlabeled buttons here. There are 2 of them here at the bottom. The first one on the left is the gallery. In other words, if you tap on that, you'll be selecting JPEG files from your gallery to be recognized.
Button.
If I leave my screen reader on there, it will tell us what that button is.
Detected image, a white photo icon with a sun and waves in the sky.
And to the right of that is your shutter button. That's all that we have. So I'm going to stand up here a little bit and touch this button and tap on it to take a picture.
Button. Detected image, a simple black circle. Retake button.
I just tapped on the shutter button, and the first thing we heard was retake button. That button is found at the bottom left. At the bottom right, we got
save scan button.
Save scan. I tap here.
Button.
And now that I have tapped on that save, we're now on a different screen, and it still shows us the live view of the camera. And we have more buttons here. On the top left, we have
cancel button.
Cancel. And then on the top right corner,
button.
We have a button that simply says button. However, this says
detected image, a lightning bolt.
And whenever I tap on that, nothing happens. And then at the bottom of the phone, though, we have some other buttons. At the bottom left, of course, we got
button. Detected image, a white photo icon with a sun and waves in the sky.
In other words, it's the same button. I could tap on there to import something from my gallery. And then in the middle,
button.
We have the shadow button.
Button.
And the last button here on the right is that unlabeled button, but we need to tap on that.
Detected image, an off-white background with a blue circle in the center.
Tapping on that button now places us on a new screen where we can see the image that we have just captured, and on the top left is the back button, and to the right is
save and listen 1 button.
So if I tap here, save and listen.
Hello and welcome to episode 205 App of the Week of the Blind Android Users Podcast. This is a demonstration of an app called Listen AI TTS by a developer called Codespace Digital. Have fun using Listen AI.
And that's what I just captured that I typed out. And this would bring us to the conclusion of Listen AI. I hope that you find it useful and it's something that you would like to use. I have written to the developer and awaiting his or her response about these unlabeled buttons, since he or she had indicated that this is the champion of accessibility, and somehow it has fallen short of that description. Thanks for listening.
A few things to say about this. I think Karene, you flagged first, didn't you? The fact it claimed to be a champion of accessibility or something, and its buttons.
Yeah, exactly. They mentioned accessibility in the description, and then it contains a lot of unlabeled buttons. I don't know, what do they think about accessibility? What's accessibility? Someone should ask them to define accessibility or screen reader compatibility, and then we'll see. So yeah, this is a real problem when a developer just says that, okay, this app is accessible, and then nothing.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I had written to them as soon as I wrote to them before I demonstrated the app. So far, though, I haven't heard back. And I said, well, in your description, you had indicated how it is a champion for accessibility. And I applaud you for saying that. However, somehow I think you missed these portions, because when you do this action, then you run into unlabeled buttons and all of that. The only things that are accessible in here is, a lot of things are accessible, but then some of the finer parts, the buttons, all the playback controls and all the whatevers are not labeled. And so if we're going to keep you as champions of accessibility, you need to fix that. And I hope that you guys get to fix that. But like I said, I haven't heard back from them. So kind of wondering what's going on. And maybe my message fell into China or some crazy place that, they didn't see. But I'll try to write them again. If I don't hear back from them by Monday, I'm going to write again. Yes, sometimes persistence is what takes you through.
Yeah, or a crazy place like a US dry county or somewhere really weird. They will.
My dry county? What are you talking about? You dumbhead! Stop it! Yeah, but seriously, I mean, if you're going to be, I think what they're thinking about accessibility is probably they're thinking, okay, you can hear it. So whether you're blind or not, you can hear it being played back to you. Therefore, we're, doing something accessible. The only thing that I like about it, over the Speak Up AI is the fact that you could listen to it with the screen shut off. And I'm a big supporter of listening to things with my screen shut off. I don't want my screen on, or I don't want to be paying just to have a background playback. It's just, so on this part, I give them, props for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I think another area we were talking before the show, and I was kind of with Karene, was I wasn't convinced about the quality of the voices they offered. It's not really holding a candle to 11 Labs or anything, is it? They sounded relatively synthetic to me, but
yeah. So I will try the. I was going to try the trial to see what the pro voices would sound like, or premium voices would sound like. However, I haven't tried it. But I'll do that as soon as we're done here and see, and I'll report back to you guys on the Telegram channel.
I wonder how many of these app developers who have had these text-to-speech apps already in the Play Store have just decided to add AI to the name because AI is so popular now. Because it's like, how is this using AI? It's just yet another voice that doesn't sound great.
Yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? It's crazy. They are just calling it AI when it really isn't.
Warren, I have a question about something that you didn't talk about in the demo, or I missed that part. Regarding the screen reader, can the screen reader read the content of the book, or just the read aloud feature works?
That's a very good one. Yes, you can read the content. Is exposed to our screen reader. And another good thing about it is that, let's say you're not listening to the your TTS put out, and then read out rather, and then you scroll down and you just find an area with your screen reader and you double tap there, it will jump and start reading from that place. So that's another plus.
The other weird thing about this app was its pricing as well. I thought I'd misheard it when he demonstrated it, and I listened back because was it something like $5 a week and $39 lifetime?
Yeah, I had to double check on that because at first I thought maybe I was seeing it wrong. But yeah, indeed, it's $5 a week if you don't want to do the lifetime of $40, $39. I mean, just rounding these numbers. But yeah, $4.99 weekly, or you could have a $39.99 lifetime subscription. And to me, when you add it all up, you're better off having the lifetime subscription of $40 versus in 2 weeks or 5 weeks, you're probably close to that amount if you're just going to do a weekly thing.
Maybe they have some data that we don't, and maybe they realize that people only use their app for about a month and decide I don't want this anymore, and they're like, let's just tempt them into paying for 2 months since they're gonna quit after 1 month.
Yeah, I was wondering something similar actually. Like if you do it at $4.99 a month and $39 lifetime, maybe folks would get bored and they'd never see that. So because you wouldn't necessarily jump to the 39, would you, on something like that? So, perhaps, yeah, I think you're right, John. I think they must have done something like that.
And another thing that I noticed was missing here is that there's no annual subscription. So you either have that weekly thing, or you have the pay ones and call it good.
Well, you can't have an annual subscription of $5 a week and $39 lifetime, can you? Because that's 8 weeks. Like, what is the annual subscription?
Well, the annual subscription could be something like maybe $25, annually. I don't know.
It would have been more typical for the 39 to be the annual, and then to have a lifetime that was like, I don't know,
79 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what they've done. So if you've gone there, they see a middle way for an annual subscription.
Well, but I give it to them though, at least, because some of them don't even have a one-time payment. They want to keep milking you every year or every month or whatever. So at least this one, you have that option, because I would rather pay you $40 and never look back.
Yeah, I would too. The counter argument goes, I think, that I've seen, and it's not one I actually subscribe to. I would much rather pay an upfront price, but the counter argument goes, if you've got a subscription, then there's more incentive for the dev to keep updating the app. Because if you've sold your app and your sales drop off, then why keep updating it? Which subscriptions are supposed to incentivize. Like I say, I don't necessarily sign up to that, but that's the reason that folks say they need subscriptions.
And now, Jieshuo, aka Commentary Screen Reader, CSR, or if you're me, the Confused Screen Reader. This is a segment dedicated to this great popular screen reader, where we show you some new feature or some feature that we believe you should be in the know of. And now, for this episode, here's your entry for Jieshuo, aka Commentary Screen Reader.
And we conclude this week's episode with the next in our series on Jieshuo from Karene. And she shows us a new feature where Jieshuo will provide continuous audio description on a video.
Hi. Blue Heart AI, developed by the Chinese phone manufacturer Vivo, is the new AI service used in Jieshuo detailed image description functions, icon detection, and inquire by voice functions. After using this AI model, Jieshuo developer removed the limitation of 100 recognition per day. Also, he included a new function. If you translate it from Chinese to English, it's called video description. However, it's not the video description that you might expect. It's not like what you get from Pikibot or from Seeing AI. You can't share a video to the service and let it describe it for you, it is actually like a continuous detailed image description function. So it captures screenshots. After capturing each screenshot of the entire screen, it sends the captured image to the AI service to recognize it. And then after you receive the result, it will be read automatically to you. In order for the function to work, Jieshuo should be granted the display over other apps or appear on top permission. According to my tests, the service doesn't try to create any link or connection between the recognized images. So it treats each image as an independent, separate image. It doesn't try to link between the images to describe the video. Also, the speed may vary, and you should pay attention to the point that if you are playing a video and the video is having quick consecutive scenes, it's likely that the service won't be able to keep up with the scenes and it will miss some of them. Also, it's not only working with videos, it's actually working everywhere. So the point is that it starts taking screenshots and doing the recognition. The function is in the main menu. It can be assigned to a gesture. Also, you can find it in the recognition menu. For now, it's still in Chinese. You can't translate the function name. Now I'm in YouTube. This is the video that I'm going to use.
The Wall Street Journal. Apple's Craig Federighi explains Apple Intelligence delays, Siri's future and more WSJ.
Okay, so I will open the functions menu.
Functions menu. Recognition menu button.
The recognition menu.
Recognition menu. Detailed description of
This is the function. I will use the Jieshuo translation.
OCR and translation. Video description.
I'll double tap.
Apple is about to go all in on AI. Kinda.
This power of Apple Intelligence and large language models means that Siri can
The
understand
screen
you
shows a
better than
video
ever
playback
before.
interface with the title
Why the
Apple's
delay?
Craig
This
Federighi
is a big
explains
lift,
Apple Intelligence
and we feel
delays,
like we
Siri's
wanna get
future
it
and more
right.
3 full stop.
This is a
The top of the video
many-year,
play. The screen
honestly,
shows
even
a video
decades
player
long
interface.
arc of
The
this
video shows a
technology
woman wearing
playing
a
out.
light-colored
And so we're
748K. Shop
Before
now.
I comment,
Expand.
I will...
The screen. 0 enter full. Next. Enter full screen. Landscape. Exit full screen.
Open the full screen mode and...
Apple taking its time. 0 minute. Next video. Fast. Play video button.
going to do it responsibly.
Yes, Apple software chief Craig Federighi is leading our iPhones into the future of generative AI.
The picture shows a man in a blue shirt sitting in an outdoor
In late
environment with some
October,
blurred
when
green
iOS
plants in the
18.1
background.
hits,
The man's
the
hair is
company
grey
will
and he's
begin
facing the
releasing the
camera,
first of
seemingly
many
giving some kind
promised
of
Apple
demonstration or
Intelligence
explanation. The image
that
shows
work
4
only
mobile
on
phone
the
images
iPhone
with
15
wings, which
Pros
appear to be
and
flying.
iPhone
Each mobile
16
phone
models.
screen displays
They're
a
coming to
cartoon
Macs
character,
and
which may be some
iPads
kind of
too.
smart
But while
assistant
other
or
companies are
mascot. The
rushing AI
background
to
is dark,
market,
highlighting
Apple's
the outline
behind,
of the mobile
or at
phone and
least
wings.
taking its time, focusing on privacy and doing it all responsibly. I sat down with Federighi to get a better look inside Apple's
The
AI
picture
strategy.
shows a hand holding a
Apple's
smartphone
late
with
to
a video
generative
playback
AI.
interface
Almost
displayed
2
on the
years
phone
since
screen.
ChatGPT
The video pause
launched.
button is located
But
in the
Apple's
center of the
never
screen,
really been
indicating that the
first
video
to
is
a new
paused.
tech
The
product
background is
category.
blurred,
What is
but
new
there is a woman
with
sitting
Apple
on a chair in the picture. She is wearing dark clothes and holding a piece of rewind
how do we
10s.
build another
Previous video.
and
Hide controls
bolt it
button.
on the side
11:12.
of our existing experience, but how
The
do we
video shows
create
a man
something
in a
that's
blue shirt
deeply
sitting on a chair
integrated?
with his
Most
hands folded on his
importantly,
knees,
view it as
seemingly giving a
personal.
speech or
The
interview.
bulk
The
of
background is a patch of
focus
green plants,
in
and the environment
chatbots
looks like the
historically
outdoors. The
have
video
been
player
around
in
products
the
that don't
picture
know
shows
you
a
at
man
all.
in a blue shirt with his hands crossed
They're
in front of
powerful
him,
and
as if he is
interesting, and they
thinking
have
or
some
waiting. The
fantastic
background is a
uses,
green
but I
plant and
think the
some
real
buildings can
power
be
of
seen in the
intelligence
distance.
as it pertains to how our
Notification in the
customers
picture,
use our
there is a
products
man in a
are
blue shirt with
intelligence
white
that
hair.
understands
Brightness
you.
settings
And
panel.
with that comes a great deal of responsibility, because to do that, that intelligence has to traffic in information that you've stored on your device.
The screen shows a screenshot of a mobile phone screen. The top of the screen shows the current time and date, which is 22:26, and the date is Thursday, the 7th of November. There is a row of icons at the top of the screen, including the screen shows a screenshot of a mobile
by
phone.
running AI models
Brightness settings
directly
panel.
on the device. Only when more processing power is needed does it tap its
Disabled
encrypted
automatic
cloud-based
OCR.
models.
The first thing that I think you have noticed is that it interrupted the reading of the result when it received a new result. and this happens a lot. I don't think that this is the best thing. It should continue what it is reading. Also, when I went to the notification shade, it started telling me what was on the screen. To stop the recognition, you have to use the back function or the back gesture. Also, you can just turn off, then turn on Jieshuo. There is something that I should mention here, which is related to this Blue Heart AI model. According to what I know, this doesn't support English. So the messages that you are receiving are in Chinese. And what's happening is that Jieshuo is using its translation feature automatically to translate the results. The translation is based on the language that you have set in the translation settings. So if you have set English as the language that you want Jieshuo to translate to, the results will be translated to English. Despite the limitations, I think that the new function is useful. It's a paid feature like all the other image recognition and text recognition functions. They are all only available in the Pro version. Another thing that I want to show you before I end this demonstration, it's the icon detection feature, which might help sometimes if you have a certain button or control that's unlabeled and you want to try to know what this button does. It could help. Also, it uses the same AI service. In fact, the only function that doesn't use this AI service and which is still using the iFlytek service is the responses that you get when you use the voice assistant.
WhatsApp. Application icon.
I opened WhatsApp and I'll see the more options. I'll focus the more options. So you should focus the thing that you want to be described or recognized.
More options button.
And also it's a function that you can find in the main menu and you can assign a gesture to.
Main menu or button. Main menu. Recognize the focused icon.
Recognize the focused item.
Recognition in progress. This is an icon that means more options or menu, usually used in applications or websites, and clicking it will display more features or options.
That was a good one. I'll try with another one.
ACR phone. ACR phone. Search, text box. Main menu or button. Main menu. Recognize the focus. Recognition in progress. This is a search bar icon, usually used to search within an app or website.
In these two examples, it showed a good recognition capability. Actually, it's not the same always. I think that this function is a good addition, especially when it works as it should. Thank you for listening.
I thought this is a really interesting idea and implementation, but it sort of feels ever so slightly random as to how it might work. And I wonder how sustainable having video description in US speak or audio description in UK speak, having it work like this actually is with sort of screenshots taken occasionally. Do you think this is a goer, or do you think they'll have to kind of look to iterate it in some way?
Well, the thing is that he got unlimited access to the Vivo AI model, which is actually doing giving the Jieshuo developer as a screen reader developer, they are giving him the ability to use this AI model because they even mentioned the blind users and describing images for blind people in their description of their AI service, which is something good, actually. I praise them for this. So because of that, and he has a sort of collaboration with them, So this gave him the ability to get this unlimited access. So I think that he just was thinking, what should I add? What should I add? So he added this sort of video description, which is not really video description, as I said, and as you could notice in the demo itself. So it's rather just taking screenshots. But, you know, when you are talking about videos, you have to make a relation between the scenes. You have to, the AI itself should know that this is a video and things are moving like this. So it should have a link, which is not available here. So I think this is the problem. Actually, we can use it in other situations. You can use it in the camera preview. You can use it wherever you want. But I don't think that we can call it video description, although I'm going to call it video description in the translation, which should be available in the next beta, because yesterday he released the translation strings. So it's now possible to translate it. And I'm going to use his words, which is video description, although I'm still not convinced that it is a video description, but maybe in the future this will improve or something will happen. But regarding sharing videos, it's not possible. And as far as I know from the developer, that this right now is not possible because the service itself, the AI service, doesn't offer such capability. So I think that we will stick with this. It's still usable, but we should know its limitations.
Yeah. Well, what it's really doing, isn't it? It's describing stills from videos.
Yeah, I was about to say it should be called random frame of video description. Like, it's just taking, like, if it happens to take just the transition between scenes, it could just tell you it's a complete black screen. You know, it's just whatever frame it happens to grab at that moment is what it's described. So it's really more of a continuous image description. It's just taking the frame from the video.
Yeah, well, it's a still, isn't it? It's taking a screenshot. So that's how it's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting. Yeah, and I know you didn't like it when it interrupted it, Karene, to take a new one or translate a new one, but I suppose I can see why it might do that if you can't cut down some of the verbiage from the descriptions, because you're going to be miles behind otherwise, aren't you? If it has any hope of keeping up, it has to, either you need to cut that verbosity way down, or it has to interrupt itself.
Yeah, but this is not the best solution. I mean, it was like describing something important and then it stopped.
Yeah.
So that's not...
The whole thing's not the best solution. Yeah.
Well, I see it this way, though. I think that this is a good start because then they will see what the limitations are and then improve on it. Because I think it's really hard to do a continuous video description. And so really the AI needs to keep up with what is changing on the screen and all of that. But I think they have a good idea here, and I think it will improve from here. I'm almost positive.
I probably wouldn't use this feature. I would probably just use the full screen image detection and just have it set to a gesture. So I'd make the video full screen, and I'd rather have control over, like, okay, I want to hear what's on the screen right now, rather than just have it randomly choose the moments to capture and then cut itself off when it chooses a new moment to capture, you know, and so on. So I probably wouldn't do this, but I mean, it's good that it's there. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's good to see different implementations, and like Warren says, it might be a good start. So to see how different services do things and what happens when you test them. Because if everyone tried to do it in the same way, then you'd just have everything the same. We wouldn't learn anything. At least with this one, it's tried something, and we'll see what happens. And maybe bits of it can be borrowed, and bits of it they'll discard.
Yeah, but sometimes you are just having the limit of the AI itself and what you are able to get from this AI service. So maybe he has an idea, but he can't implement it because of the AI service that he's using. So an example is that this AI service doesn't have the ability to share a video to it and then have it describe it for you. So this is one limitation. And also, if this AI service is not giving him the ability to deal with the images as a continuous description, this also, he will not be able to do anything about it. So I think that he is just having this restriction, which is preventing him from doing something about it, but trying to take advantage of this service and of this collaboration is something that he should be appreciated for, actually.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree.
All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us.
That's it for this week, folks. John, how can people get in touch with us?
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers+subscribe@groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Well, thank you very much for listening. We shall see you all next week. Say bye-bye to everybody.
Appreciate you guys again for listening to us and looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Have a great week.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye. See bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.